If we had kept up production, we would be earning as much from coffee as we do from tea. So I was asked to take an excerpt of what inspired me the most in this book. And if I was asked to write a one-page manifesto, what I would talk about is putting food on the table for every Kenyan 3 times a day. It is a shame that we as a country, as big as Kenya, as proud as Kenya, as beautiful as Kenya, with elite people in it, can afford to have someone stand in front of them and tell them that there is no food for you. Kenya as a country is like a matatu, coming from Buruburu, going to town, but it is going through Rongai, and the passengers are doing nothing about it. As much as our leaders have let us down, Kenyans must also learn how to take charge. Honorable Raila Odinga, in his book, in the Quest for Nationhood, he has pointed out how resourceful we already are and how we can move forward with what we have. He has also pointed out the low levels of tea and coffee production and voicing out the cause of it being corruption. He also goes ahead to say that the only way to increase production for these cash crops is by eating into our forest. But I feel that we have not collectively exhausted what we already have. We have not ventured into irrigation, and again, we have not ventured into farming for crops according to the regions where they best thrive. Our neighbors from Uganda here, they have the average person waking up to a breakfast of well-done matoke and peanut sauce, which is locally grown, compared to us, who wake up to a cup of tea with a bloomed mandazi which has nothing inside. And that is what I call starvation. And last but not least, young people, we are 8 million strong. We have what it takes to change this country. We must give directions and scope on where we want our country to move to. Tribalism doesn't put food on your table. Corruption eats us all, and unemployment is a national disaster. Let's down our tools, and on 8th August, we come out and speak in our full strength by sending home academic dwarfs, incompetent leaders, and kings and thugs in suits for us to provide a better life for our children and the future generation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Angela. A round of applause for Angela, please. Yeah, before we go to the next speaker, I want to recognize the presence of our incoming Deputy President, the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. Karibu sana sir. Thank you. We will hear from another young person. David Jesse, please come on stage.
Okay. Thank you. This is such a great task, and today I had to take some anxiolytics before I came here. So I'm privileged to be here today to give my impression of Raila's new book, The Quest for Nationhood. Okay, we've seen in advanced democracies like in the US, in Europe, we have political leaders write books that chronicle their political lives. But such are very rare in Africa. And today, we are privileged to be here to listen to Kenya's story from Raila Amolo Odinga. I think Raila Amolo Odinga is the only leader, or is one of the leaders in Africa who have written books. So you have a leader like Uhuru Kenyatta, when he exits power, we'll forget about him because nothing is recorded. And also, nothing is worth recording about Uhuru Kenyatta or William Ruto. What do we record? What do we record for another generation? Nothing. So today, I'll talk about devolution. I read the book, and the part that touched me in the book was on devolution. as a young person who's going to school, I believe that devolution is the socio-economic equalizer over time. I mean, devolution closes the gaps that have existed before and that are a product of the Sessional Paper number 10 of the 1965, that with the exclusion that have existed before, they find that we have marginalized areas like Mandera are going to be stories of the past with devolution. So, as a young person, I believe in devolution. And with this new system of devolution, I believe that we can devolve power. We give power to the people so that the people can decide and break the bureaucracy that exists with the recent forms of government. With devolution, we are going to devolve justice. With devolution, we are going to devolve our economy. And with devolution, we can also devolve our history so that each and every region in this country can have its own history. So, Mr. Odinga, I know that your government is committed to devolution. It is the best thing that can move our country forward. We strengthen devolution, we give more resources to devolution, and we devolve all the major critical aspects of our economy. Thank you. And one last request, Mr. Odinga. I am a student, and I am requesting you to please, that in your government, you pay our lecturers, so that we don't have to keep postponing our futures. Currently, we aren't in school, but we should be in school, because lecturers are on strike, because we have an insensitive government. And we know, as young people, that a government that does not care about our education, does not care about our future. We want a government that cares about our future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. You'll agree with me that these young people are woke, as they say, that they are politically aware, that they know what it is that they want for their country. Lastly, we have Mr. Mohamed Doyle, who will also take us through his perspectives of the book. Karibu sana.
Hamjambo. Nasa TV. Nasa Tialala. Tumesema kwamba hii ni mkutano wa youth. Kwa hivyo we must bring some youth liveliness. Yama namna gani? Okay, I am Arab Doyo. I am Mohamed Doyo. Some know me as Arab Doyo. I am privileged to have this opportunity to stand here. I am from Isiolo, and I think I am the first person from Isiolo to stand in front of the incoming president of this country. So I will go through what I read the book, and I want to break down in each chapter what I got about, what I read about, and I can tell you for once, if you are a young person in this forum here, in this event, you need this book as soon as now. Yeah. Yes. The first chapter speaks about development. What do we understand about development in the Kenyan context? Here is where Raila Amolo Odinga breaks down and also talks about the importance of one aspect of development that is underplayed so much in Kenya, and that is political development. He breaks down the political, from since independence, post-independence, and up to now. And in the first chapter, there's something he talks about. Quoting Chinua Achebe, he asks, when did the rain start beating us? When did the rain start beating us? He asks and he explains to all of us, especially in a youthful language, in a language everyone here understands, and if after reading that chapter you know where we went wrong. Chapter 2 is on the new constitution. In this chapter you appreciate his efforts, you appreciate what this country has gone through since the Lancaster Conference, the spirit of the same, how the people were putting up what was in their minds. You also appreciate the transition system from colonialism to independence. You also appreciate the multi-party electoral politics of 1992. You come until 1997, IPG. You come forward until 2000, where the Wanjiku Constitution came. You also get to realize about the two drafts, the Bomas draft. You also get to know about the Wako draft, what happened. You also get to learn how ODM came into place in 2005. And eventually, you come to realize how the current constitution we are working with, the 2010 constitution, came into place. It is a journey, a very relentless journey and a big one. So the young people in this forum, the young people in this country, you really need to know about how you've come to this place, that you can tweet, you can tell the president anything. You can, as Article 33 speaks about freedom of expression. You can talk freely. You need to know what gave you that freedom. That is the Constitution. Chapter 3 speaks about economic development, two different journeys. Where did the rain start beating us? Raila Amolo Odinga in this book speaks about the ancient tigers, speaks about how in 1960s our GDP, our income as a country, our economical growth was almost at par. Where did the rain start beating us? He explains candidly about the two journeys. That was where we lost it. About one was import substitution. That is the one that our market was only for issues imports. We did not liberalize to focus on export-led industrialization. This is where industrialization is based upon producing goods for the external market, not just a local market. It is deep, it is very comprehensive, and if you really want to know this employment we have here, where did it originate? You will go back there and you will understand. Chapter 4, how do democracy and good governance affect development? Here you are told of the interrelation between the two. All of these are interdependent. Without good governance, you don't have development. Mr. Raila Amolo Odinga talks about Cape Verde, talks about Mauritius, talks about Botswana. All these are African nations. I will not explain what they've done, so get the book, find out about these nations, and compare them with Kenya. Chapter 6, the success of devolution. Raila Amolo Odinga talks about how, since 1960, we had Majimbo, and the spirit of Majimbo, and then later we had devolution. What was the importance of devolution? He also bisects deeply on these myths that you have around every time. People say devolution inaanguka, devolution nini. Hawa watu ambao you just allocate 15%, a very small percent. So you will understand how the success, what was the motive behind devolution. Chapter 7, combating corruption. Here, Raila Amolo Odinga explicitly tells us about corruption and how we can end it. He also reminds us that we have one government that has seen unprecedented corruption in the history of Kenya like no other. He also tells us how to go about it, how to overcome about it. He talks about an imperial presidency, a presidency that is seen to be above the law, a presidency that is seen as too powerful that it affects all the other arms of the government. We are also told about, he also now on this part tells us how to solve it. And one of his suggestions is about parliamentary system of government. I know you will read that and you will understand more. He also tells us about why every other person in the public service wants to be rich. He tells us about the Ndegwa Commission of 1971, which approved public servants to make as much money as they want, willingly, and with all the goodwill. read about it and you'll understand about that corruption.